Hook. Have you ever met someone who seemed friendly at first but later turned out to be completely different? Or maybe you've wondered how some people can understand others so quickly without asking dozens of questions. The truth is that people reveal who they are every single day, not through what they say, but through what they repeatedly do. Most people focus on words. Great observers focus on behavior, because behavior is where the truth lives. Today, you'll discover how to decode anyone using everyday behavior, not by reading minds, not by making assumptions, but by noticing the small patterns that most people completely miss. By the end of this video, you'll start seeing people in a completely different way. Introduction. Human beings are surprisingly predictable. We like to believe that our personalities are hidden deep inside us. But in reality, our habits, reactions, choices, and everyday actions constantly reveal what matters to us. Psychologists have long understood that consistent behavior is one of the strongest indicators of character. Anyone can pretend for a few minutes. Anyone can wear a social mask. But maintaining a false image every day becomes exhausting. Eventually, the real person starts showing through. That's why if you want to understand someone, don't focus on their promises. Focus on their patterns. Let's look at some of the most powerful ways people reveal themselves through everyday behavior. Sign number 1. Watch how they treat people who can do nothing for them. One of the clearest windows into someone's character is how they treat people who offer them no advantage. Pay attention to how they interact with waiters, cashiers, delivery workers, janitors, receptionists, or strangers they will probably never meet again. Many people are polite when speaking to someone important, but true character appears when there is nothing to gain. A person who treats everyone with respect usually values human dignity. A person who becomes rude the moment status disappears may be revealing something very different. Imagine two people, both are friendly to their boss, both are charming during interviews, but one becomes impatient and disrespectful towards service workers, the other remains kind and respectful. Which person would you trust more? The answer is obvious, because behavior under no pressure often reveals who someone really is. When nobody is watching, character speaks the loudest. Sign number 2, notice what gets their attention. Attention is one of the most valuable resources a person has. People naturally focus on what matters most to them. That's why attention can reveal priorities. Watch what someone notices first. When entering a room, what catches their eye? When scrolling online, what holds their attention? What topics make them suddenly energetic? What subjects do they constantly return to? Someone obsessed with status may constantly notice expensive possessions. Someone focused on learning may naturally pay attention to ideas and information. Someone who values relationships may immediately notice people's emotions. The human mind is like a spotlight. It rarely shines randomly. It usually points toward what the brain considers important. If you want to understand someone's priorities, don't listen only to what they claim to value. Observe what consistently receives their attention, because attention rarely lies. Sign number 3. Watch their reaction to other people's success. This is one of the most revealing behaviors of all. When someone else succeeds, how do they react? Do they become genuinely happy? Do they offer congratulations? Do they become curious and inspired? Or do they immediately start criticizing? Do they search for flaws? Do they try to minimize the achievement? Success acts like a mirror. It often exposes hidden emotions. Confident people usually understand that another person's success does not reduce their own opportunities. Insecure people often see success as a threat. That's why envy frequently appears when someone else wins. The next time someone receives praise, pay attention to the reactions around them. You may learn more about the observers than the person being celebrated. Sign number 4. Observe how they handle small frustrations. Anyone can remain calm when everything is going well. The real test comes when things go wrong. A delayed order, a traffic jam, a slow internet connection, a small mistake. Tiny frustrations often reveal emotional control. Some people remain patient, they adapt and move forward. Others become angry almost instantly. They blame everyone around them. They lose control over situations that barely matter. These reactions provide clues about emotional maturity. Because everyday life is full of inconvenience, a person who cannot handle small problems may struggle even more when larger challenges appear. Pay attention to what happens when reality refuses to follow someone's plan. Their reaction can tell you a lot about their mindset. Sign number 5. Notice whether their actions match their words. Words are easy. Actions require effort. That's why consistency is so important. Many people talk about honesty, fewer practice it. Many people talk about discipline, fewer demonstrate it daily. Many people promise loyalty, fewer remain loyal when it becomes difficult. The strongest indicator of future behavior is usually past behavior. If someone's actions repeatedly contradict their words, believe the actions. Imagine a person who constantly talks about health but never takes care of themselves. Or someone who speaks endlessly about kindness while treating others poorly. Eventually, behavior becomes impossible to ignore. Actions reveal priorities, words reveal intentions, and priorities are usually more reliable. Sign number 6. Watch how they respond to criticism. Nobody enjoys criticism, but reactions to criticism reveal a great deal about self-awareness. When receiving feedback, does the person immediately become defensive? Do they attack the messenger? Do they refuse to consider another perspective? Or do they pause and listen? Emotionally mature people understand that feedback is not always an attack. Sometimes it's an opportunity to improve. Of course, not all criticism is useful, but the willingness to consider it often separates growth-minded individuals from those trapped by their ego. People who can learn from feedback tend to improve throughout life. People who reject every criticism often repeat the same mistakes for years. A person's relationship with criticism can reveal their relationship with growth itself. Sign number 7. Pay attention to what they do when nobody is watching. This may be the most important sign of all. Public behavior can be managed. Private behavior is harder to fake. What choices does a person make when there is no audience? Do they keep their promises? Do they follow through on commitments? Do they act according to their values? Or only when recognition is involved? Character is not built during moments of observation. Character is revealed when observation disappears. The habits people maintain in private often tell the real story, because integrity means doing the right thing even when nobody will ever know. And integrity is one of the hardest qualities to fake consistently. Conclusion. So, how do you decode anyone using everyday behavior? You stop focusing only on words. You start paying attention to patterns. Watch how people treat those with less power. Notice where their attention goes. Observe their reaction to success. Study how they handle frustration. Compare their actions with their promises. Pay attention to their response to criticism. And most importantly, notice who they are when nobody is watching. Remember this: people reveal themselves every day. The clues are already there. Most people simply overlook them. The better you become at observing behavior, the better you become at understanding human nature. And once you understand human nature, you'll make smarter decisions about who to trust, who to learn from, and who to keep close. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to Mind Theory and join us for more psychology and human behavior insights. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.